all the stenosis in this part 27 of the very special challenge. So, I've uploaded up to part 26 now and stuff that. So I see it outside of Union and not inside of Union. I checked every shop and the shops haven't changed, so there is no viable double growth weapons yet. That does not happen yet. And stuff that I am using the shotgun over the sniper CR there, but we will most likely probably be forced to use Barrett here. Sadly, because Barrett has not a good black double growth weapon, because otherwise, level-wise, there aren't really any super good characters. Level-wise, I haven't decided yet either which party members we are going to be using and stuff like that, because yeah, of several different things. I shouldn't be using that there. Another thing is at this point is normally when we will start the grind here. I know that I said that we're gonna go and get Ominous Slash right away, but we're gonna do the Ominous Slash with the trick way and not do it the actual legit way, which you had to do back in the day, of course. If we were playing on PlayStation, you had to do it the legitimate way and stuff like that. But I need to think here. Because we do have a bit of cash now, so I'm pretty certain that we could theoretically go into Gongaga now, I believe it is, that we want to go into. Because we need to check the shops here. I want to check the shops in Gongaga because we didn't get all the material we wanted, of course, obviously. Right, because we did get time, we got barrier, we got exit, of course, but I believe we're missing Mystify, specifically what we're missing from the grid material so far. And keep in mind, right, that when it comes to actually mastering materia, there is something that is a bit annoying in the game, that they made it so that you cannot master all the materia very, very early. Because of course, obviously you need to get the Knights of the Round and stuff like that, and Bahamut Zero and stuff like that before you can mastering black summons. And even then, I feel like it's never meant that you're meant to master the actual really hard to master things before a certain time. Right, Sniper CR we're not gonna sell, of course, obviously. We can buy the headband, we can buy that. We can buy the sword pendant back. Which we need to do. We need to buy the white cape back, that's 5k there. So we have the talisman, we have the sword pendant, we have the thing there. There's the Mystify Magic this time, which we have good. We get the Fury Ring there as well. So now we have all of the missing things there. Let's just get the headband and the silver glasses while we're here as well. So now we have pretty much all the accessories we want. Yeah, I did remove Protect Vest, right? Yeah. Very, very good. There's also Tekiki the Dragon, we can steal gold omelets from, and then just make it sure that everyone has gold omelets at this point. Have you changed, or are you still hard edge? Yeah, you still those star weapons. We can buy Impalers here, Shrivel, and Molotov. Actually, the funny thing is that if you have the things that can turn them into mini is technically better than turning the enemy into frog. Although I believe, what are the benefits? Like if you turn them into frog, they can still do some damage. Stuff that, so isn't mini just better, or this items right there. Do we buy more hypers, tranquilizers? There is the question, because you're sitting there are items you want to have, like curing small and curing frog, because those are the worst statuses that you can get affected by in the arena and stuff that. And yeah, the main problem is also that if you get minied, for example, you can be pretty screwed. But there is another strategy that I've tried to make work before. The strategy where you put Yoshiyuki, and you put a very good armor, and then you put Fury Ring on to automatically berserk and stuff that. And that strategy could work. But that's more of a little strategy. So we did check both here, right? We did check Yeah, because that only has a bottom floor. We already checked in there, the bottom, top and bottom there. So yeah, so we have everything now pretty much. Right, we did get Mystify. Mystify is Confusion and Berserker. Yeah, so yeah. So this episode 27, by the way, and stuff that. So yeah, you know, kind of works as a bonus recording a little bit. I got some new sake today. Previously, the sakes I've had has been like 14% to 13% or whatever it is. But this one was way stronger. But this one I was on a way smaller bottle that was like super expensive. So I guess it's a more high-end black rice wine. Oh. So let's go back here. Let's go back to outside. And let's go into the transport. There isn't a weapon shop right in Nibelheim. No, there's no weapons at all being sold in Nibelheim. Wait, am I mistaken when I'm thinking about that? Am I mistaken? I'm trying to think about a certain thing. Oh, maybe we're not mistaken actually, because of course we need to take the you know, the buggy all the way to that other place. The reason, of course, why we need to do that, why we need to bring the buggy all the way over and stuff, that is because certain reasons. But I thought some of the shop changes here. Actually, when you go here like now, there's shotgun, gold armlets, of course. Power race, protect vest, earring, talisman. Some of them would be good to have multiply offs, and but yeah, there's the inner course, obviously. I didn't check the upper floor though, but I don't think we missed a chest here. I don't think we did. Because I thought that the fourth bracelet appears here, and not in the same chest as you got the power source, like in the old man's home. So that's like not the old man like this guy. I thought he was supposed to give you something else there because he talks about the reckless young Rufus and stuff like that, because that's not part of his default dialogue. But why does he have Yoshi Yuki? Like, is that meant to be like, oh, it's a reference that he's another character or whatever? Like, oh, it's supposed to be Auron, you know, and stuff like that, and that's why he has the Yoshi Yuki. I know where he goes. Because that's, of course, where we got the power source there. We could theoretically go and do the Butai side quest as well now, and stuff like that, you know. It's a Charlie Captain, and then it's locked. You can't even go outside there anymore because they didn't program a screen without a tiny Bronco. A tiny Bronco. Right then, item shop is of course yes, it has barrier exit in time. Barrier is of course very powerful and stuff that, because you can all barrier stuff that, and you can of course haste all as well. Like both very powerful effects. And that's the thing, right? Because not having big guard, right? Because it's so stupid, right? With certain of the enemy skills in this, that you become like super reliant on the enemy skills. Like, and if you take away like enemy skills from certain people, then they don't know how to deal with certain bosses in the game, you know. And Are we gonna do a run at some point where we do like very little like grinding or whatever, right? Where we just take the battles we get and stuff that, you know? Maybe. So save here. That's of course before the battle solo boss fight. That's before the Ares solo boss fight, so nothing really gaining Rocket down. We do stop here though. Now the question is, do we go for Diamond Bangle? Because Diamond Bangle has a lot of slots on it, or do we go for the rune thing? I know that you might say that, oh yes, the rune thing is of course nothing to do with Shinra at all, because Bone Village has nothing to do with Shinra, which is true. But maybe there should be a requirement for us using like Rune Omelette. Like Rune Omelette, of course, we can use stick that to Claude, because Claude can use whatever armor he wishes. But then maybe a character has earned it, you know, whatever. Because yeah. Yeah. Some Riska has it. And the funny thing is you can be like that. It's a Temple of Ancients. That's enough. So you can like boy something. Boy something. Boy something. So this actually is 630,000, which that is the most expensive one so far. Barrier is 700,000, yeah. 560,000 for Gravity, so Gravity is worth a lot actually. You realize why the fuck is Gravity worth so much? Yeah, because they know how powerful it is. But Gravity doesn't require super much either. That's 105,000. But yeah. Virus 210,000. Yeah, I definitely think that they programmed wrong with all material there. But what it's worth 70,000 of course for cover. Counter attack only being worth 1 is a bit weird. Now here's the thing though, is that I always wondered is it possible to create a support, like a master support materia? Is that something that is possible? Okay, so this is 3,200 course obviously. A lot of slots, 3,700, which is more expensive. Which I would want to get 3 of actually. But we go with 2 now so far. So this would have to be the 2 characters we want to be using here. We're definitely using her, of course, obviously, because she has a good double weapon. However, his eating contract is giving him magic, right? So 47 magic. Do you lose magic if you equip the? Oh, yeah, I already equipped twice. I think he had 47, right? So he should have lost 5. Yeah, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47. So you lose 5. So I don't want to lose the eating code. He should still be using the eating code. He's using Rune and Rune. Both are using Rune Omelets. He can still have his eating code. Meaning we get to switch out some stuff here. She has Shinra Beta still. Let's go along with Silver Omelet. Vinny, since you're a character I rely on a bit or will do later on, you're getting the gold omelet. You're getting a very snazzy gold omelet. And then who do we give? Who do we give another silver omelet to? It's either Tifa or Red. give it to Tifa. Tifa, here you go. You can have silver omelet. Very nice, a really nice silver omelet there. And we have more silver omelets. Right, because we removed the gold omelet as well. And we have a surplus one. Because one of them had silver omelet before. For like Melanie had a silver omelet, so that's good. So eating cold, silver omelet, Cinnabeta, gold omelet, silver omelet. So that means that I know that there is Cinnabetas we can get later, but he equips silver omelet, so now the worst thing we have now is the silver omelet on a character. Silver omelet is not the worst equipment. Well, it's pretty crazy. I don't think we get a second thing here. So let's do this. How do I do that? I meant to do that. We are meant to use. We use Yuffie. We use Barret. Because those are the best in terms of double growth and still having things. And yeah, and now we don't want to sell all the Cinnabetas because obviously we can only sell one, right? Yeah, we only can sell one. Let's just give us some cash though. Yeah, we don't sell the Sniper CR. Because eventually we can buy one more rune omelet and stuff like that, but yeah, I'm allowing the rune omelet now because this is all part of the grind and going and exploring with high and stuff like that, yeah. 3 alarms like long range, so he needs to be in the front. Alright, then we need to do this first as well here. If you have the Lunar Harp, yeah, sadly there is no way to do the digging yet because they thought about that, you know. I mean, I wonder if it's possible to trick the game into that state for whatever reason. There it is. Kyata, as it was called. So Kyata is a big difference compared to Odin there. Because you can see what this requires. This required 15,000, I think. 13, 14, 15, so 16,000. And this is 22,000. The Kyata is a big jump, but that is because Kyata is technically later than Bahamut and stuff like that, because next after Odin is Bahamut, as materia-wise, that you can acquire. Well, technically it's actually Odin, then it's Leviathan, and then it's Kyata. I always thought that it was something purple right here. But it looks like it's something purple, there is something in the tree. You can clearly see it looks something like that. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Because I'm pretty certain that someone said that there's a way to technically trick the forest or whatever into something. Curious, or I wonder if you can get that encounter. I want to have the world map music, please. Please. There we go, very nice. Right, so we go to Utai now. We go to Utai because we can go there. Instead that. Now the question is though, do you need to get past Sleeping Forest to get that one encounter? There is an encounter that is one of the most money intensive encounters that you can ever get. Because there's an item you can steal from a very, very weird looking enemy. It's the one that kind of looks like a hybrid or something like this. So it has a crab on. It looks like very, very weird. It's pretty, very big. And from that you can steal the water ring. The water ring, of course, is insane because that sells for 5,000. So 10 of those is 50,000, which which means if it's like 5,000, that yeah, 10 is 50,000. That means that 100, if you could have gotten like 100 being the maximum instead of 99 being the maximum, then that would have been 500,000. Which that is pretty good. Here's the thing, right? The thing that I learned about this that is very, very useful about the whole Butai area here is that if you bring Yuffie along, then you get to use 2 characters in the very, very first fight. Only get to use 2 characters in the first fight. The character that becomes Braid, I always thought that they should have had that let you re-equip materia, because when she steals it, she doesn't steal every materia, she can only steal a certain amount of materia. So if you have enough materia, you can theoretically, so if you do this way later into the game, you can skip Butai entirely and not do Butai until way later into the game. And if you do Butai, way later in the game, things are very, very different and stuff that, very different. We don't have that much healing materials as well. I'm actually gonna heal up here first though. I'm just equipping Restore here just to heal. Oops. I'm gonna equip it, arrange. I'm leaving the rune armlet on there, so yeah, because the rune armlet, eating cloth is technically better than the rune armlet for a lot of reasons, but yeah. Those are almost all that I would have given double to and stuff like that, because I think that yes, double is very powerful, but it should have been way more armors that had double on it. Right, and you need to read the thing inside her home as the final thing, or as the second final thing. What do you mean this one? This one's you learning something, asking questions later. Dun 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 dun. Big shot. I think that actually put him back over there, but I mean, the best thing that can happen here that I've had happens a couple of times is that if you have enough material, then there's a very high chance that you get steal here. It's really long, you have a very small attack window there. So that is the front row, so Barrett is in the back row as well. Okay, he was actually in the front row, but that's just because Barrett is so fucking huge, that's why it looks so weird. This is I'm curious though which character it's going to be, right, when it comes to certain other things. Yeah, you're correct volume, right? You're at 5. Yeah, I just increased it there to 6 a short while there. Yeah, Oh! Uh-huh. Wait. What? How can red... Why does red 13 have the most? So that means that he is currently the one with the highest points. Which means, of course, that you cannot date him in the game. Getting grade 13 here is actually very, very interesting, not gonna lie. We got some materia, yo! Restore. Oh, you can have ice. My dog have fire. Barrett, you can have the lighting. See, guess why that happened? Is she stole enough material and stuff that, but the reason why this happened very clearly is because of the fact that you have the... It happened because of certain very specific reasons, but yeah, I have a very one in the front row. Barrett, I definitely want to get kills with you. So Barrett, you have this. Oh yeah, this. Getting healing is so freaking good. Like, I'm not gonna lie how good that is. Yeah, not protect rest, and then you know what? Let's give you earrings so you can do what the damage. In it, puny no 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 no, a puny 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 puny. Or puny with your heels on us. And all of the other punies. Puny every time per day. Oh wow, and we have enough now actually, but you cannot really live on the tiny Bronco right now because of this side quest here. This is a bit sad, but yeah, we will also receive the very, very mighty peace ring. Now the peace ring can be sold because you can actually... Recently you can steal the peace ring, that's one of the stealable things. I don't think you can steal the armlets, of course you can steal the fire armlet, aurora armlet, and bolt armlet you can all steal in a place. I mean, red 13 would be cool to get a bunch of kills with here. So we're actually gonna, yeah, I think we also need to go with Claude here. Not yet. Oh, that's a loaded. There's some loaded fights there. Yeah, also some loaded fights. But we don't have any on material. On material got stolen actually. Yeah, how many more right arms do we have? We have 4 more. Oh man, how many right arms do I want to have for that fight though? I mean, it totally depends on how hard it is to steal the right arms, because here's the thing, right? Right arms are... Well, basically, there was on a challenge where I did this one. I did Black Legitimate. I did this back in the day, basically, back in unknown material run on like the standard version of the game, not even like any version like this and stuff like that, right? I did it on the very, very standard version of the game. Okay, they're dying 2 hits, so I can use weight here. Use the Barrett solo here. It gets poisoned, but Barrett does not care. Barrett does not care about your puny poison. You care about my dog, Fuck pork. What? Parrot claps the dance. You get a lot of explosions here. It is crazy the amount of explosions that can actually drop here and stuff. That is actually pretty nice. And of course, it's then at these beaches we can steal adamant bangles. Now, adamant bangles are not worth a lot. However, they have the very strong. They are basically the Gigas version of Magic, pretty much. Okay, fire 2. That did not kill it. But we get to sleep, Fang. We get to sleep, Fang. The sad thing is always that you don't use the limit break when you're berserked. Oh, you know what? Oh, I thought that they should buff your starters, considering like Sadness is like 30% damage reduction, which is just so freaking good. Like Fury, just doubling the thing is not good enough. And apparently, these limit break never work properly. They do not take higher. And like it gives you haste, but defense percent specifically is of course your dodge chance. It's not like your actual defense. But it actually does not do that. It did something else, if I remember correctly. Because and don't read this, because this is the final Turtles Paradise 1 sign. What's Melanie? It's best to add a little gold about that. Ask you what the gold smell. And it's actually going to be pretty cool because this is Magic Shuriken. And Magic Shuriken is very misleading because I definitely think it's called Magic Shuriken. It should have been. Pretty certain though that it doesn't have super massive like magic plus stats, so that I definitely think that, wanna rest. That was a long sleep. So there's a koi pond, right? And here you get a very important weapon, although this is of course one of those technically yoke weapons, kind of like in Soul Calibur and like, well, in Soul Blade they weren't like yoke weapons, but Last Barret gives you hairpin, and hairpin is actually pretty insane because if you're not using materia, if you don't have materia on here, then there's no reason not to use the hairpin. So yeah, the hairpin is really cool, but it does not have a different attack animation, I don't think. But yeah, it's actually very cool to have a long range weapon on him and really to have him be sniping. Yeah, he got beat once, which means that technically he got beaten in his actual special form that he can turn into and stuff like that. He got beaten in that form. Because here's the thing, like VII never had powerful material, although that's completely wrong because they do have Leviathan material and they do have the other things that's up in the mountains, but yeah. But a good over time we cannot stand up to Shinra. Right, yes, I know that there is a bunch of stuff left in part 3, but it feels like it feels so annoying, right? Because it feels more like it's not a legit reason, right? It feels more like let's farm it as much as possible. If I go to power, speed, magic wall, and Omni has the best of the others. I dash out the water gold and the fine mighty gods. But we didn't fare so well. So the question is, right, if they had Leviathan material on their side, then that would mean that Shinra was either way more powerful back in the day, or, I mean, it could have been because of Sephiroth, because obviously there's the Chocobo Feather and there's the Bolt 3 and Fire 3 here. These aren't the best thing in the world, but this is what you actually use if you run a Warner material on. It's the Fire and Switch Bolts and all those other things that can drop with you. And here you can buy the extremely powerful Chocobo Feather, like there's a reason why that is 10,000. Like way more than the other. Like even the amulet is not as expensive as that. What did he say again? So I was getting into fights against you, takes off to go that way, like fall like Tara. Getting into fights, that's supposed to be a hint that you go in here, I think, but yeah. Get ready to die. This would have been such a cool introduction if you would have fought Elena solo here, actually. Yeah, because they're on vacation and stuff that, right? And, you know, so you just want to impress the guy, so they back her in the butt afterwards. She's like, I'm not horny. Because, you know, that's something, you know, like the more stupid the blonde is, the more horny they are. But it actually has to do with. Because the fact that she's only used in one boss fight in this game is a bit sad and stuff that, you know, like a bit, you know. And it's not a whole, let's make the game like Volk and stuff that, right? It is the guy that always gives you the hints so you can figure out where Yuffie actually is and stuff that, right? Even if you know. And for some reason, Melanie had fondness for materia since I can remember she always hung around places she thought might have it. Oh, wait a second, this used to be a materia shop, right? Because it's, you know, the item store. But you can clearly tell, like, okay, like this is, you know what? I'm sorry, this is not says materia, but there's almost no materia left in Wutai. Listen, this is back with time, we don't have much with Shinra besides. MP absorb. Stole MP absorb materials. Just imagine that, right? Yes, imagine like the coding nightmare of lack of all of the support materials, and all support materials wouldn't work well together. Like, if I know that an attack is support, which happens when you die, when your character technically dies, and also sneak attack would be the attack you use at the very beginning. So, for example, I would really like to have Phoenix, but then you start the battle off with Phoenix. You know, it's not always the best thing in the world, right? You could, of course, do the final attack being KOTOR and stuff like that, and then you could start a combat with KOTOR. But then, of course, that could make like a really fast battles really, really slow. So that, right, what's the next thing he says? Right, because I've never listened to all of the things that he says. That used how sometimes he used bust into people's houses, other times hide in the shadows just like a little kid. It's been funny, like, why does he betray Yuffie? Or is it just that they want you to not get stuck here? And stuff like that, because he's literally the tutorial guy. Or is the backstone no more weirdos? She's hiding behind the skin, of course, obviously. No grounds, this is now one, you know, this is something I'm born into your house. So saying you can go came in here a minute ago. But I wasn't trying to talk to him, I was trying to talk to the... You can talk to her, actually. No, Gramps. With my old man's house. I feel like this is the character that inspired Capcom when they did. Oh, how upsetting! How I friend of my grandsons. No grands, these guys are keeping it running all over the place. But that doesn't look like a grandson. That actually looks, because that has like the pigtail hairstyle. So that's like Right, and now it's very, very obvious, right? They make it like super obvious now. Because it moves. And now if you want a hint, I think he ridicules you now if you want a hint here. It reminds me lately, I've seen a kid around here that reminds me of Melanie, was sneaking around corners and doing something she shouldn't. Was sneaking around corners, eh? And then it's very, very obviously, right? And stuff that like corners, right? Because this is a corner specifically. Like this is the only real one that's an actual corner on the map, technically. And then she tries to run away. And now she's all of a sudden super slow. She wanted to get caught. And then she wants to get a good old religious spanking because you're asses. Because their asses infested with demons. So like, he's here on vacation. Get the Turks even back up on a drag. And the fact that you also don't get to fight Sing in the original as well is a bit bad, and stuff like that, right? You just, separate taking up Sing and stuff like that, but yeah. Of course, if we would have gotten it is so sad though that why couldn't they given things to steal from the Turks earlier and stuff like why did they have to wait for this? I can understand, right? Because like stealing Tough Ring, like if Tough Ring would have been the stuff that you could have stolen way back in the day, and same thing with Cedric, then yes, that would have been very powerful. Stuff that, And it's down here called because this is smell on this house. And here it is. Number 6. Drink at the Turtles Paradise and talk about the time. It's fun Turtles Paradise, looking for the big pot outside. Haha, potojet. Braja. Det var how you used to be a way bigger city. Use the tourist trap. The lever on the left. The one on the left, because if you trust her, you actually gain positive points with her if you play along. And you gotta steal it. Steal it, get it. Yeah. And this is funny here that you can do. Yo, wait up! Imagine if you could leave the lock behind and then basically like when you rescue her, she would be like, wait, where are the others, right? And you would be like, oh yeah, I left them in the basement. Left him in the fucking basement. The fucking basement. Right, and sadly, of course, you can sadly not go in here, right? Or you cannot get these things here, stuff. So the cat is still blocking the way, but once you do the side quest here, the cat will unblock the way, and it will only unblock the way after that. Basically, it won't do it earlier. And now, where it is. Yeah, flyers. There's 6 in all. Find them all, and then blah blah blah. Find them all, and get a good old spanking. Come on, get over here. Oh, haha. Yo, power source, dark sauce, magic sauce, mind sauce, speed sauce, luck sauce, then make elixir, because that's how you make elixirs basically. You take all the sauces and then combine them, basically combine the delicious power gardens. These should have been anesthetic flavors. Power would of course be like power would probably be like what monsters would these be? You know, and stuff that, you know, like what what monster would they be? But yeah, you get the Mega Elixir also, which is like pretty crazy. Now we have some sources, and we're gonna give all those sources not to Claude, of course. Obviously, we're gonna give them to another character. And now, he doesn't give you a tip. I forgot. Is it that he gives you now? With material now, that is so that you know that okay, she isn't over there. Stuff that is so you can know that okay, like she isn't climbing. She isn't climbing down Chao. Kokodai Sing Song. Right, Mind Blow, Lunatic High. It has to do with the moon, of course. People going crazy. Some people say that it's because of the high tide and stuff that, you know, it could be true. There's not, well, we can sell 2 Phoenix Downs. We can sell an Echo Screen. Explosions aren't worth anything. So now I buy Potion. More like Goodbye Potion. Right, so each one is 250. Yes. Each one is 250. Magic Shuriken is 3000 now. Weapon is 3000, so okay. I mean, 3000 is quite a lot if you would just sell them. It's like that. EM Ring is also quite a lot as well, so yes. Oh. No. But they basically make it so that you can use process of elimination here to know where she goes, because he said that they haven't gone there, you know, stuff that's right. But I thought if Dodo gives you this hint, because I'm pretty certain that someone gives you the hint to go over there. I'm pretty certain that someone tells you, oh, Gordon's not here anymore. Where the hell does he go? Huh. Let's go. That is curious. Is it because it goes into the pagoda now and stuff that, or is it something else? Because see, that's very weird, right? Because like doesn't he care? Like you would think that he would care, you know, if she gets kidnapped and stuff that like he would care about that, you know. Freeze. You are from there, aren't you? Yes, because you're answering a question with yes, because you aren't from Wutai, and yes, I'm not from Wutai. If you want to know, that means that you are from Wutai, but yeah, but it's pretty funny. But then it's a mistranslation. I can't stand liars. But you didn't just answer that you were from Wutai. Like, because he says, you aren't from Wutai, are you? Yes, I am, because you aren't from Wutai. Like, yeah, you're not from Wutai, right? And then if you answer yes, then that he says, oh, you're a liar. That's not implicating that I am from Wutai, that is just a mistranslation. It's supposed to say like, are you from Wutai? And then selecting yes means that you will be lying. But you aren't from Wutai, are you? Well, because saying yes, it means that yes, I'm not from Wutai at all. Right, because it needs to be correct grammar, so this is just mistranslated here. Or those from Wutai. I enter the tower. I want to find a hint, or I want to find the hint to this. Because I know what to do, of course, obviously, but, you know, I want to find out, like, where is it that you get the hint for this specifically? Because he says, of course, just about the whole Dao Shao statue here. A girl with material. So where does Party card is hugely now in an filled with Mako. Yeah. Scales what right, and this is nothing because they don't even allow you to buy thing here. They say something else now. No drums. Yeah, they don't. No one mentions about that, but it's clearly the only place to go to because you can just eliminate that, right? You either go into the cat thing and see nothing there, and you've already been told the other locations and stuff that, right? But since we are here, let's go so we can get the Dragoon Lance ahead of time here. Let's go get the Dragoon Lance. So the Dragoon Lance is pretty good, I would say, you know. The Dragoon Lance is way better than the spear. There's never a reason to not use like equip the Dragoon Lance immediately. Stuff like that, but yeah. Whoa! The thing was fast in an instant. That's out, statue. Oh. Oh shit, it's Telmat Horn now. 157 MP. Garuda, oh wow, those are the Garudas. Like if you remember what Garuda looks like in some of the other games, that's actually pretty funny. Dance. Ooh, bolt plumes. You know, that's very, very nice. Bolt plumes are very nice of them. And of course, there is no Canadian wind here, but you know, there's nothing here. Not yet. How about the statue? I can go up here, this is so cool. Getting to see what's out there, you can realize how high this actually is. But then it's weird, right, that it's all green and lush here, but then outside it looks like absolutely wrecked. Which means, of course, that the reason why there is green there is because of the Leviathan. Right. Now we can do this. It's a bolt plume next though. Or to Blarg. Blarg? Oh, and that heals it, okay. Okay, I leave things to you, Barrett-chan. Barrett-chan, I choose you. Blarg. Now yammering would have actually been useful. Ice to Blarg. I like it. We got a very berserk Barretts. Want to blarg. Can we do something? Can we use this cube? Oh, that's a pretty big heal from regular thing. Can we cure again? Ice to blarg. Limit break. Limit break. We got a limit break. Yeah, we found on the bolt plume. I love we found some bolt plumes, that's so nice. And was it Q3 next? No, it's Riga next and then Q3. Bada bada bam. Ba ba patch. 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 Bada bada bam. Ba ba patch. Ba ba patch. Ba ba patch. Bada bada bam. Ba ba patch. Ba patch. 11,000, you know what that means. So go both better. Power raise Storm Barret instead. Instead of Fury Ring. Choco Feather don't Claude. So Claude is super fast now, 46. Dexterity is, yeah. Choco Feather is just very powerful. Yeah, so powerful. And it's so weird, like, why does, like, you would be like, okay, like, Godo, like, why does Godo not care here, which is, you know, like, and stuff that, like, because, okay, she gets kidnapped and stuff that's, you know, like, she gets kidnapped by actual ninjas and stuff that, but then it's like, why do they even show the ninjas here kidnapping them and stuff that, right, and then, you know, them not doing anything with them because they look, like, really cool here. But then you never fight anything that looks even similar to that, you know. We get a Swift Bolt. And I'll see. So we get one of those 2 or 3 items. Yeah, Swift Bolt. Okay. I want food more. Big you shot, dude. Återplume. No, you dumb bastard. Just right there. Because he needs to use the bolt plume. Återplume. Blarg. And Barret, you get to punch something. Granata! And now the fucking thing would be nice. Granata! Okay, fine.